amigos a otro programa de RDA Show que se transmite a través de Pangea FM gracias al auspicio de CTU Security y CTU Federal Academy. Les damos una vez más las gracias por escucharnos en vivo y por vernos a través de las plataformas de Pangea digitales, Instagram y YouTube. Con nosotros, como siempre, Damien Yates. Hello, Damien.
Hello, everybody.
And Marcos Díaz.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Hoy vamos a tener teníamos un programa y un invitado de lujo, que era el jefe de policía de la ciudad de Sweetwater, en Florida, cerca del Doral y Miami, pero por motivos personales tuvo que ausentarse. Esperamos que todo en su familia esté bien y deseándoles los mejores deseos para que el próximo miércoles se encuentre con nosotros. El programa de hoy va a ser, vamos a hablar un poco de la reapertura de las actividades como tal en los Estados Unidos. Damien, we were talking about, the program is going to be a little bit about the reopening of activities in Miami and all the United States. But that one also comes with different challenges because most of the industry was closed. So now you bring me a very good topic, and I'm wondering that you start talking about it, because right now we're going to start reopening the economy. But remember, the economy was closed. Many employees were fired or at home. Many plants were also closed. So, Damien, explain us a little bit about the concern that you were talking about.
Yeah, Tony, man, I was talking to you about the concerns because there may be, if the country doesn't open up, it might be a food concern due to the fact a lot of the processing plants of meat and a lot of these farming plants, they're having a lot of cases of the COVID-19, and they've shut down a lot of plants. So right now, they said there might be a shortage of meat within the stores because you have Tyson, one of the big companies, it said that their pork processing plant is closed, and they have other plants closed because they have over 1,000 cases. So as with the mind of being in self-defense, it could get a lot worse if these plants can't be opened, and you need to prepare. You need to be ready just in case, because if people can't get food and meat and sustenance, they're going to try to find other ways to get it. And it's only going to be one way if it's not in the stores.
But do you really think that after almost 45 days, since everybody get ready, we were talking about the new gun owners, people that go like crazy to buy guns and ammo, preparing for the wars. So you're still thinking, and let me ask you to Marcos, answering to me this. Do you think that after 45 days, now we're gonna see the wars when we're trying to reopen?
I don't really think it's gonna be the worst, but in the same time, if we are not cautious, this could, and they've been trying to say flatten the line, this could make another peak if we're not cautious without it. If they just open everything and everything is not taking the safety necessary to be safe. And because I've seen people together just playing basketball, football within the quarantine. Imagine without it, and we get one person sick, and then that one will make a few more sick, and those few more is going to be a lot of more people. So it's not, I'm not saying do not open the city, but if they open it, to be really taking the cautious necessaries. Like, anyways, if you can wear the mask, wear it. If you can stay 6 feet apart, do it. Don't just open and nothing happen here.
Yes, but your concerns is about another rebound of the coronavirus. But the concern that from Damien is that we were prepared. We bought ammo, guns. So prepare for people that are gonna start stealing because lack of food or services. So
I don't think we're gonna get to that point now, because if we already passed the wars, and we can say the people who buy the ammo and the guns, we cannot say for sure 100% they are good people. What I would say, they are not trained people, but that people is like they buy it just in case, and that just in case is not happening.
Well,
you agree with
me? But the thing is, Marcos, the word is supposed they're worried about a second wave of the virus, and with the opening, they're saying before even opening, they said it was already going to be a second wave. They're predicting a second wave, and the thing I'm saying is, as far as a defense standpoint, if they have a second wave, and with processing plants of our food, our sustenance, our clothes, and you have people who already weren't prepared, but we got people buying guns and everything else. And if we're not getting food, and this drags on longer, because the world, America is going a little crazy after 45 days. Imagine having to do this another 45 days with all the plants in the stores closed. We will get to that point if it happens. Hopefully it doesn't. But the thing about preparing is you prepare if. You prepare for A and you prepare for B just in case A fails. So if it doesn't happen, you're prepared. But you also prepare if A fails, which we're saying it doesn't happen and it does. What are we going to do next? You're going to have to be ready to protect your territory and your resources.
Well, so to the audience that is listening to us, we have to conclude that we have to be prepared just in case another rebound of the pandemic or corona is coming. But at the same time, that's on the personal and that's on the health side. And the protection side, as Damien say and suggests, you have to be also prepared in the way to think that the best and the worst. Am I right?
Correct. You hope for the best, but you prepare for the worst. That way, if the worst happens, you're prepared for it. If the best happens, then guess what? You will prepare for that too. But if you don't prepare for the worst and the worst happens, you will become the victim, and you will become a victim of someone trying to take your resources or take your property or take your food or something in that manner. And you don't want to be that. No one should be that.
So what we're saying is that remember, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Keep safe. Don't get into, try to follow the guidelines that the government is doing. Keep the distance. And if you don't need to go out, don't go out until everything is gone. New Zealand is getting rid of that. I believe that they don't have only one dead people. So they close everything, they keep the distance, they do it by themselves. So today I've been seeing, and this is the part that I believe that we all agree, is that I know that we have the Constitution, and the Constitution gives us the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth amendment, which are the most important. One of them is, they don't have to search your house without a warrant. And I see a video that somebody sent today to the group for two police officers going into a house because the daughter went to visit other friends. So the police went to the house asking to the person at the house, we don't know if it was the mom or somebody else, but they were asking for they say that they're gonna put in jail or they're gonna get a fine to the girl because it's visiting friends in other houses. So also they asked to the person at the house the name, and she denied. She said, "What is the law that I have to give you my name without anything that is by writing?" So those liberties we need to keep defending. So we need to find out and hope that I can find which was the police department that did that and where, for because we're gonna keep informing you guys about these violations. Some people I've seen in other videos in different other countries that people over 50, like me, they get in the guy, get into the van, put in quarantine. So, man, thanks God we live in the United States and that thing doesn't happen here. And we have to keep defending those rights. But at the same time, the guidelines that the government is saying, we have to make a little bit of reflection and think, is New Zealand beat the pandemic just getting into the house by themselves? We can do it too. And we were doing it. So it's amazing how everybody during the last 40, 45 days is being locked down in the houses, trying to avoid things and that, not because the law, but because we know what we have to do. So for now on, I believe that we have to keep doing it. We have to keep the distance. We have to follow the guidelines. It doesn't mean there is a lot of speculation around that this is not real, this is real. So there are two groups. So, Marcos, when you see those two groups, the one that is protecting the rights, but the other ones that are also protecting the rights, and they think that this pandemic is just like a theory and it's not real. What is your opinion? In which of the sides are you in?
I would say I'm not on a side particularly, but I'm not trying to test it by myself if it's real or not. I'm taking my precautions. I'm taking everything I could take. You know, as on my morning shop, I'm like an essential person, so I have to be driving around. I have to go to the buildings, make sure everything is fine. But I'm taking my cautions. I'm not trying to see like or say I've been going to this many buildings and I'm not affected and this is not real. No, I'm just wearing a mask, wearing gloves, disposable, so dispose them as soon as I leave the building or as soon as I have some other kind of contact. Wash hands 20 seconds, etc., etc., etc. Just because I don't know any personal case or any family or close friend that has happened or that has the virus, I'm not saying it's not real.
What about you, Damien? Because considering that the death rate is not as high as we thought at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of is it's here. Because I have a family member that works in a hospital. So I hear some of her stories, so I can only say it's real. Because she has stories of people dying and people can't breathe and people, you know, having issues due to this. And she works on a COVID floor and here in Miami. And she was explaining to me how for a day or two they had nobody, and then next thing you know they had 2, then 11, now 20, and then numbers keep rising. And this is recently. This is as far as the day, if I can remember. So I would say I would have to say it's real. I'm saying it's real. Now, with the numbers being what they are, my thing is, as long as we don't get a vaccine to it, what are we going to do? I mean, we subject to whatever it has to offer.
All right.
They say you catch it, but you're not immune to it. So when you catch it and recover, you go right back out there, catch it again, and guess what? You're gonna have to end up bumping into a stronger. It's gonna make a stronger strain than before. Hopefully, I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but if I can catch it, heal from it, recover from it, you think I'm on the knowing I can go out there and catch it again? I'm gonna be 3 times as precautionary. That's the scary thing about it.
Yeah, we don't know if you're gonna catch it again or not. If you're gonna build your antibodies in order to fight a second chance, but what it is real. I personally know 3 people that they caught the COVID-19. They say that it's really worse. They can breathe. They don't have to go to the hospital to use the ventilators. But they say that it's really tough. It's like a flu, but 5 times stronger than that. So I believe that yes, we have to keep the precautions. Don't get the distance. Like I can repeat that. Follow the guidelines, and let's keep being prepared for what is the worst thing. Because right now, there is a lot of theories around, and one of them is what's going to happen after. Do we going to go against China with some sanctions, or something else is coming after that? So whatever it is, we have to keep prepared. We have to keep training for those cases. For me, I believe that this is already past. People are going to go back to work, keeping the distance. Some people are going to get infected, but now we're not going to pack or overwhelm the health system, because now we have preparation, we have the ventilator, we have the vaccine is almost ready. There's going to be, right now we are at CTU, we are going to get some products, and this is new for you guys too, but you're going to love it. Why? Because it's a test that you can use your phone, do the test, and in 5-10 minutes, you're going to get the results. So I believe that we can prepare companies in US, so when you go to your work, they can test you like this, and if you are okay, you can continue working. Today I was a seminar, learning about this new system. Is almost approved by the FDA, and it's going to be, access to everybody. So we have to be prepared. So if you are listening, contact the RDA show using our phone number, which is 786-453-6646. In the next week or 15 days, I believe it's going to be ready. So everybody that have owners or company, we can provide them with those kits individually, and you can check that result's going to give you a pattern, and then you scan it, send it to the lab, and they're going to tell you if you're, the system tell you if you're okay or not, but just to reaffirm, everything's going to be sent to the lab, and the lab is going to confirm everything. So we are working really hard. United States companies are working really hard in order to overcome this pandemic and fight with the American resources and American products. Why? Because we have to understand that globalization is good. But at the same time, when you're saying globalization, you need to know who your partners are. I'm not going to blame anybody, but we cannot put all the eggs in one little pot. Why? Because right now, everything that is made in somewhere come to US, and we only have factories in one place. Globalization for me and Marco and Damien, I wanted to bring this topic because this is part of protection. When you want to protect your family, okay, you store your stuff, you put your ammunition, you put your gun, but you also have to distribute in order that if one part fail, you can keep having another in another part a backup. We always do that. We always think in backups. So as Americans, we have to think the way how we can get back at in different places. We cannot keep doing what we were doing for almost 30 years, helping somebody that at the end, the people is amazing people, but the governments, they're only looking for something, and it's power. So whoever wants to talk a little bit, Marcos or Damien, what is your opinion about what is going to be the next that we should do as Americans to protect our companies and to protect our economy, which is part of protection. That's what we do.
I mean, as far as the economy goes, the economy can only go as far as the consumer goes. If you have no consumers, the economy is going to be at risk. If, as far as if way I feel, my opinion, it's only an opinion. Like a lot of the social gathering places that still won't be able to open due to the social distancing, it's going to be a lot of problems with that because clubs, bars, restaurants, stuff like that are not going to be open. At least here in Florida, they're still taking a hit with this economy. So the economy is not going to be as strong as it is because you're going to have a lot of people not working still. And from what I'm learning, I mean, what we all should learn from this is the economy is taking a hit because of the consumer that's not buying, which is us. We're not rich, you're not poor, but you work hard, you get your money, and you find ways to enjoy yourself with it. And those are the people that this economy is missing, and that's why it's taking the fall that it has. So, I mean, as far as economy, yeah, it's still not going to be the same just yet. As far as us people, with after this, if it's not a vaccine or something to prove that you can't catch the virus again, it's going to be a while before we get back to the same because people are going to be afraid. And as far as protection, you got to be able to be ready to protect yourself. You got to find ways to train. You got to find ways to prepare because if it does get worse, it's going to be pretty bad because once you have people without food, without necessities, essentials, they're only going to do one thing. They're going to go out and look for them. And they're not planning on buying them from somebody. They're going to plan on taking them.
Right. Okay. And you, Marcos, what do you think about what we're going to do next after we reopen, about the company, how to protect the company, how to protect ourselves and shield against the happen again?
Tony, I don't know if you said it or it just came by coincidence, but the NRA have posted, it says, always prepared, never scared. Why do you carry?
Right.
Kind goes a little bit into it. I'm not going into all the answers they put in, they have a lot. And a lot of them we have here before, just in case, I've never gonna be a victim game. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and don't have it, etc.
Right.
Going back to your question, I believe we are in a 50-50 in that we don't know exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. We have many things to go through. Businesses, example, schools or private schools at least, they are not going to be open until August. And now I just find out some of them are going to be have summer camps on June. So it's not gonna open, but they still having some students. That means they coming a little bit back into business. Being out of business for that long until August is gonna be crazy. People like, I don't know how it's going on with students, but I mean with teachers, but janitorial crew is not going good. So we're trying to find out a way to get business back.
Right, but it's gonna be easy for your janitor because everybody wants to disinfect, keep clean. This is a new standard. So this is a new standard of protection.
Yes, it's actually it's not new. We have to follow the new guidelines, the new chemicals that we can use, and I hear like a lot of people talking about antibacterial soap, which is expensive soap, but for virus, we're talking about a virus, not a bacteria. So it's just people getting scared and trying to buy the expensive stuff, thinking that it's gonna be working better, but it's not.
Well,
Let's change a little bit of the topic back to the protection because we're seeing a lot of cases on the news and something that I've been talking to the police department that is now because people are locked on their houses for such a long time, 45 days, with kids, wife, maybe in-laws inside the house. So it's gonna start, it's not gonna start, it's already started. Um, not too much patience with people living inside together for so long. So now we're seeing cases of sexual abuse, pedophilia, um, all the cases, domestic cases, that also affect the safety. And that's why many people want to reopen because drinking, suicides, all those matters happening. So we need to, how can we train or what kind of training or what they can do in order to avoid those domestic violence that is happening almost every day and in exponential numbers.
ew, well, what training can they do? I mean, any type of defense training, self defense training is better than no training at all. Period. There's no
Because
other
we
way
have
to
at the
say it.
NRA, we have the don't become a victim.
Right. We have the don't become a victim. We have all kind of self defense training that you can apply for. That's why I say any training. You can't prepare for what's happening in the home. You could just prepare for the threat that comes to you. And dealing with somebody in your home, you never know when they're gonna attack. But I can say this: if it is that type of situation, it's a situation that's been going on long before now.
Right.
Now it's just put under a microscope. Why? Because you don't have these two people or these kids that have to go to work or go to school to get away from what's happening inside the home. Now you have everybody in the home at a constant basis without separation, and now it's continuous without a break, without the separation. There's not too much you can do. I mean, you got to just get any type of defense training right now, any self defense training. That I mean, we offer self defense training where you can do it with a weapon. We offer some in our classes where we partner with our Protect, where we do on Tuesdays that can help. You can practice on certain things with a handgun that we can give you as CTU. I mean, it's a long list of things that you can do to try to deal with someone. I mean, it for me, be honest, for me, it's no different. If a person is a threat, they're a threat. Whether you know them, whether you don't know them, whether you like them, whether you love them. If they coming to bring harm to you, they're a threat. They bring the same type of harm as a complete stranger. So it's no difference for me.
I think that it's important for women and kids to to train, to be educated, what to do in case that discussing this before about how to escalate or de-escalate the situations. Sometimes, most of the time, when domestic violence happen, is because inside is a bully, somebody that is the bully, start the fight. So how can we equalize those those forces?
It,
And
Tony, like I said before, it's hard. It's hard when you can't. It's hard when the way you de-escalate things, the way we teach to de-escalate things is you find a way to de-escalate it, or you find a way to walk away from it. It's hard when you can't walk away. It's so hard because no matter what you say to de-escalate it, if that person is trying to be the aggressor, imagine having to deal with an aggressor that you can't walk away from, and no matter what you do, that aggressor is constantly aggressive, and you are the target. So for a woman or for a man, for anybody, for a child, it's hard to get out of that situation.
in my experience, I'm wondering if you have any experience similar to the one I'm going to describe. I've been seeing people get bullied, and then until the other part just walk away and nothing happened. But also the same thing when it's a bully and the guy tried to walk away and the bully is still going after. The only way to stop that bullying is confronting.
Correct, and that's
But
what I
have
was
to
gonna
be
say.
confronted the right way because not always you need to use a gun, but you have
No,
to stand and then defend your position.
right,
And many times we don't see that happen, and that's why the domestic violence is still happening over and over again.
right.
Trying to
I
go,
mean that's
but they came back, the bully's gonna attack again, and then that's gonna be a repeating situation all the time until you make your stand and put your point on, and let's see what happens. But
well, yeah, that's a good one. But some people are afraid to take that. Unlike yourself, unlike unlike us who have trained to understand we gonna take a stand regardless. You got some people that's afraid to take that stand, and those are the ones that are gonna be hurt by it. The ones that don't want to take a stand are afraid to take a stand or understand that or have a feeling they can't win in this situation especially without any type of training to give you the confidence and the understanding of how to deal with a threat, with that person being a bully.
Tony,
It,
yes,
sorry, I want to cut you out because on Facebook, Mariana is telling us the victims or kids have to report abuse. That's the first thing. And in many cases, they won't report their parents or siblings. Maybe the guys who start or think about a campaign online for abuse matter and or she's suggesting us maybe you guys can start or think about campaigning online abuse mothers and harm others.
abuse
And
mothers.
she's also saying yes. And when they call the police, maybe they cannot prove it.
they can what?
They cannot prove it. They cannot prove the abuse.
What?
Right. That when we say that is don't become a victim, is a program that is under the NRA. But besides that, we have other trainings that we can teach people what are the procedures in order to make more. They can validate their versions when the police arrive. We can teach that because what it is, like Mariana said, call the police, educate the kids, take pictures, take videos, so you can validate what's going on. Don't wait until they cannot do it. Is that right? That's answer a little bit the question, the concern that Mariana brings?
Yes, I believe so.
Because that's what we need to teach, and we have to organize now, because I've been watching the news all the time. I have different sources. Things that are happening every day, still happening. Domestic violence, sexual abuse, cops being killed, just checking people. So all that is happening and never gonna end. But what we can offer at CTU is to give you tools to avoid those situations, validate your versions, and defend yourself in a court. That's something that we can do. We can bring also the lawyer from US Law Shield, which is they're gonna give us that next week. So we can plan a seminar. Could be online seminar right now because the social distance. But yes, basically we can do that. There's so much training that we can do. Just tell us what you need, and then we can prepare. Because we cannot be in every house listening to everything, but if we know what the audience are looking for, we really can prepare something for those groups that are under a specific needs, and then we can prepare them to overcome those situations. So I believe that we have a lot of work ahead to do, Marcos, Damien. We need to prepare many different training, protection, and tips that we can offer to our customers and audience. I believe that that's what Mariana wants to clarify a little bit, right? What we're doing in those cases.
Tony, pregunta, o mejor dicho, no, tenemos a alguien en Facebook que habla español, completamente español. Solo para resumir lo que estábamos diciendo desde el principio, estábamos hablando de que en Estados Unidos están pensando en reabrir las ciudades, los lugares abiertos, valga la redundancia otra vez. He escuchado que eso lo están planificando también para Miami, para el área de Miami. Estábamos también viendo la parte de qué podría pasar si hay un segundo rebrote de la epidemia, cómo protegernos, y ahorita estábamos hablando de la violencia en casa, cómo poder intentar protegernos o cómo desescalar, si así se podría decir.
Sí, escalar una situación para evitar una confrontación.
Exacto. ¿Y qué medidas podríamos tomar?
Y estábamos hablando de que en CTU queremos que nuestra audiencia nos diga cuáles son sus necesidades, cuáles son sus temores, porque tenemos entrenamientos desde los más sencillos hasta los más complicados escenarios. Y queremos saber qué grupos son los que necesitan para nosotros poder crear y organizar cursos y seminarios para que esos específicos casos que tienen. Queremos hacer que puedan defenderse responsablemente, crear que el escenario les dé validación cuando la policía llegue, cuando tengan que hacer una denuncia. ¿Cómo lograr eso? Y también hablamos de los kits para protegernos del coronavirus. No protegernos, sino estamos a punto de comenzar en los próximos 15 días. Hoy estuve en un entrenamiento acerca de esto, y es un test que se puede comprar, y el resultado por el software que pueden bajar en el teléfono puede darles el resultado si tienen o no tienen coronavirus, y es en minutos.
¿Cuánto vale este test?
Pueden protegerse y proteger a sus empleados sencillamente haciendo este test en sitio antes de entrar a la fábrica o al lugar de trabajo. esperar unos minutos. Si el test es negativo, pues entonces va a poder continuar su labor. Si da positivo, por supuesto, es importante que cada uno tomemos nuestra responsabilidad y hagamos nuestra propia cuarentena si la necesitamos hacer, o busquemos la ayuda debida. Pero creo que eso va a ser en los próximos días algo que va a permitir que las compañías reabran más pronto, no solamente en los Estados Unidos, sino en cualquier parte del mundo donde usted pueda verificar que su empleado no tiene el virus. Por seguridad, porque cuando hablamos de seguridad, y voy a extenderme un poquitico en español para las personas que están conectadas, no solamente la seguridad es tener un arma o saber usar armas, es saber cómo desescalar y cómo evitar una situación. Hemos visto que muchas veces alguien por toser, anteriormente te daban la bendición, Dios te bendiga, salud, te decían, pero ahora tú toses al lado de alguien y casi que te quieren golpear. Entonces, todas esas situaciones hay que evitarlas. Si usted va a un automercado y va a toser, protéjase, tenga las mascarillas. No necesariamente el toser significa que tiene COVID-19, pero evite una situación incómoda para otro que pueda llevarlo a una situación más complicada, porque tal vez la otra persona no va a entender que su tos no es de COVID y él va a creer que usted lo esté infectando. Así que todo eso es sentido común y tenemos que trabajar en función de eso, porque no queremos que una situación por alguien que estornude o tosa llegue a una escalada donde tenga que usar usted un arma, un taser, o usar fuerza no letal para dominar a la otra persona. Entonces, todo eso tenemos que tener.
Tony, te digo dos cositas de dos usuarios en Facebook. Reida nos dice, a los niños se les debe enseñar desde muy pequeños que nadie los puede tocar. Y Hong nos dice, es un test en sangre como si fuera un glucómetro.
Es un kit que no es con sangre, es con los swapping, los algodones, saliva y mucosa. Se pone en el test. Este equipo ya funciona para todos diferentes otras cosas, pero se han concentrado específicamente esta compañía y va a ser con mucosa y con saliva. Dependiendo del color que se torne, usted va a poder determinar y el programa va a poder decirle si tiene o no tiene infección.
¿Tenemos idea del precio? ¿Cuánto es que van a costar?
No es caro. Estamos hablando de alrededor de $3. Obviamente se hace caro si todos los días tienen que hacerse. Alrededor de $3.50. ¿Tienen otra pregunta por Facebook?
Estaba revisando ahora mismo, pero no.
Okay.
Yo sí un ataque de eso. Los podemos obtener localmente, estar a países donde los necesiten, cómo es que van a poder funcionar o tener acceso a la gente que los vaya a necesitar.
Bueno, estuve hoy en el entrenamiento. Aún no ha salido al mercado, que sale por ahí para 2 semanas. Y va a estar disponible para todo el mundo. Está haciendo una gran cantidad de ellos. Inicialmente, obviamente, va a estar dirigido por motivos del Defense Act, el acto de defensa o la ley de defensa de los Estados Unidos. Va a estar disponible aquí en los Estados Unidos. Y obviamente va a estar disponible para el resto del mundo una vez que sea aprobado y que un segundito, que estamos viendo me mandaron un señal. Alguien tiene un micrófono que está ok. Va a estar disponible para todo el mundo, pero inicialmente va a estar aquí en los Estados Unidos definitivamente. El acto de defensa que tenemos primero que nosotros garantizar la seguridad en los Estados Unidos. Pero no creo que eso vaya a durar mucho. Yo pienso que ya se van a empezar a abrir para otros países y van a permitir, como lo anunció el presidente, que Estados Unidos va a ayudar a otros países con los ventiladores, porque ya tenemos suficientes ventiladores en los Estados Unidos, compañías que están fabricando miles y miles de ventiladores, y ahora lo que se está creando es un overstock para países que están en necesidad. Los Estados Unidos siempre se ha caracterizado en ayudar a otros países. Y es importante, y yo quiero recalcar esto hoy, porque muchas veces escuchamos que critican a los Estados Unidos por esto o aquello. Y los Estados Unidos es el único país que ha intervenido en guerras mundiales, ha ayudado a liberar y no se ha quedado invadiendo esos países. Es un país donde hay un terremoto, una pandemia, es el primero que corre a ayudar, es el primero que pone los recursos y no importa el personal, lo que cueste para ayudar. Quisiera que entendamos que los Estados Unidos siempre han estado ahí para todas las naciones que lo han necesitado y no se han quedado, no los han invadido. Hoy en día una preocupación, Damien, are you talking about US, that the US is a nation that when any other country needs, we are going over there and we help people without inviting the countries. We always coming back. We always give to everybody. And then when we're talking about security, we have to be very, very careful. Why? Because when you see that the system wants to change for a populist government, the only thing that I see in the countries that has been doing that is misery at the end. So we have to be very careful to what we read, what we listen, and what we see. This is a great country. We have to keep it that way. Es una nación buena, debemos mantenerla de esa manera. No sé si quieres hacer, I don't know if you wanted to do a comment, Damien, because I see you moving.
Yeah, no, I was making sure my phone was charging, but I mean, the U.S. is known for helping and going in other places, and giving a helping hand.
Always.
Yeah, but this is something where the crazy thing about that is right now, if the U.S. goes anywhere, it's not like they're not having the same problem at home. That's the crazy part about this. So even if the U.S. itself goes out to help, they're going into the same problem that's happening at home. This is worldwide. This is not two countries at war. This is not a civil war that has to be. This is an invisible. This is war with something that everybody's going through, with an invisible threat. It's a threat that nobody can see, and everybody is in the same war right now.
After everything happened, we have to review all the facts. I believe that the government is going to be doing that because we need to understand a little bit more why all this is created and what was the purpose of that. I don't know. We have to wait. There are too many theories around, and that's what we have to keep,
Well, all I know right now, Tony, is all this is raising the prices on guns. That's not helping me.
No?
Guns are going through the roof, man. You can't get any good price guns anymore. The $500 guns are $700. The $700 guns are $1,000. What we gonna do about that? How we gonna stop that? That's something we can try to control. We can't control COVID-19. We need to start protesting to the gun companies. Stop raising the prices.
Yeah, but remember, that's why when you say that it's an invisible threat, yes, it is, but it's with purpose and it's the economy. If you break the economy, you break the country. So what's happening is those manufacturers have shortage of raw material to build the guns. The people are not driving the trucks with the same frequency, so everything increases. Look, I went to buy some pizza. So the prices are rocking like crazy. Two pizzas for almost $30.
Yeah, I
What's
mean,
that?
somebody said they went in the store today and a pack of meat was $20. That's usually like $5. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna
Prices
happen.
are like a skyrocket. Listen,
Yeah,
guys,
but
I believe that the time is gone. We have to say um, bye to our audience.
Yeah,
Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for being with us. Thank you to Pangea FM and their platforms, digital platforms. Gracias a Pangea FM y sus plataformas digitales a través de ellas salimos. Thank you to CTU Security and CTU Federal Academy. CTU Security es fabricante y distribuidor de equipos de defensa para civiles, seguridad, policías y militares. Y CTU Federal Academy entrena tanto a civiles, policías, fuerzas militares. So, estamos todos cubiertos. Por favor, comuníquense con nosotros, envíenos sus preguntas a info@therrdashow.com. Envíen sus preguntas a rdashow.com, info@rdashow.com con sus preguntas y déjenos saber cuáles son sus inquietudes. Muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotros. ¿Algo que quieras decir final, Marcos, Damien? Anything last 1 minute?
yeah, don't forget to follow us,
Para la
not just
gente
on the
de Facebook,
not just on the RDA show, but on CTU Shooters on Instagram and Facebook, the CTU Security on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us as well and find out a lot about our new up-to-date blazing screen that we have for self-defense on CTU Shooters. Also, you can find it on 3B Tactical on Instagram and 3B Firearms Training on Facebook. All the stuff we do is under that umbrella, and everything we do you can find out from there, and how to get in to prepare for just in case things become worse. Go ahead, Marco.
Solo que decirle a los de Facebook, Edwin Pineda, Raida con Vida Pineda y a Mariana, gracias por estar presente y siempre escucharnos.
Gracias, muchas gracias a toda la audiencia. Y recuerden, suscríbanse a nuestro canal de YouTube de RDA Show. Thank you very much. Gracias a todos. Buenas tardes.
Don't forget, everybody, stay responsible.
And be ready.